12 rappers, 12 deaths. But these aren't just names on a timeline. These are real stories. Freeway ambushes at 3 in the morning, home invasions before sunrise, paid hits on Thanksgiving Eve. A man shot in the head inside his own recording studio by the people he trusted most. You know these names. But I promise you, when you hear the full story of what actually happened, some of these are going to land differently than they did the first time. Number 12, Proof, Deshaun Holton. When Ronnie died, you was right by my side with a shoulder to cry on and tissue. Eminem's best friend since childhood, the architect of D12, one of Detroit's most gifted lyricists, the kind of rapper whose freestyle ability made peers stop mid-sentence just to listen. April 11th, 2006, Triple C's Club, 8 Mile Road, Detroit, 4:30 in the morning, and you know 8 Mile. That road means something to Detroit hip-hop. That's where the hip-hop shop was. That's where the film was set. That's where this whole Detroit movement breathed. And that's where it ended. An argument inside the club over a pool game moved outside into the parking lot. Police reports indicate Proof fired first. He allegedly pistol-whipped Keith Bender Jr. during the confrontation and shot him. Then Bender's cousin, Mario Etheridge, opened fire, 4 shots, head and chest. Proof died at the scene at 32 years old. Bender died 8 days later. But here's what doesn't leave me about this one. This was Eminem's best friend, the man who was the best man at M's wedding just months earlier, the man who came up with the name D12. And Eminem had already filmed a music video for Like Toy Soldiers, a song specifically about escalating violence in hip-hop, where the video shows Proof lying in a hospital bed while the world falls apart around him, art previewing life, in a way that's almost too painful to sit with. If that video ever hit different the second time you watched it after April 2006, you know exactly what I mean. 2 men gone over a pool game at 4 in the morning on 8 Mile Road. Number 11, Mac Dre, Andre Hicks. Like G.W. Bush, we be loving the kush, but only in the backwoods. The godfather of hyphy, the man who coined Thiz, who put Vallejo on the map before most people could find it, who built an entire Bay Area cultural movement from the ground up, after federal prison, after years of law enforcement targeting him specifically, after all of it. Sorry, Bob. That's not my job. I don't do that. He survived all of that. On November 1st, 2004, after performing a show in Kansas City, Missouri, unknown assailants in a stolen black Infiniti G35 began shooting at the white van in which Mac Dre was riding on U.S. Route 71. I make you slap, but anything else? It's not my job. Around 3:30 in the morning, not a confrontation, no argument, no road rage. They just pulled up alongside the van on a dark highway and started shooting. The van swerved across the highway median, across the southbound lanes, and down a steep embankment. Y'all lames is plain. The same kind of liquor, want the same kind of clothes. Hicks was thrown from the van. The driver crawled from the wreckage and walked for help. He found Mac Dre in the dark on the side of that highway, pronounced dead at the scene from a bullet wound to the back of the neck. He was 34 years old. Sitting on wires, folks, bitch, not Michelin tires. Local rapper Anthony Fat Tone Watkins was alleged to have been responsible for the murder, but no evidence ever surfaced, and Watkins himself was shot dead the following year. Reports say he was killed as revenge for what happened on that highway. 33 assault rifle rounds. One false move, you can stop thyself. Sometimes I'm not myself. The case remains officially unsolved to this day. Mac Dre had done federal time. He'd made records naming specific police officers. He'd outlasted everything the industry and the law tried to put on him. And then a highway outside of Kansas City in the middle of the night was where it stopped. Dre rocked the jewelry with the clear stones. Get on the nigga. Number 10, Soulja Slim. And so you say you love me in a married way. James Tapp Jr., New Orleans Raw, Magnolia Projects, No Limit Records royalty, one of the most emotionally direct, unfiltered street voices in the history of Louisiana hip-hop. On November 26, 2003, New Orleans lost one of its most unfiltered voices when James Adaryl Tapp Jr., better known as Soulja Slim, was shot and killed outside his mother's home in the Gentilly section of the city. He was 26 years old. And here's the detail that still doesn't sit right with me. He wasn't on tour. He wasn't at a party. This was not a tour tragedy or an anonymous incident far from home. Slim was killed in his own city, outside a family residence, at a moment when his music career still had momentum. His son was on the way. His sister was minutes from arriving. The family was gathering for Thanksgiving Eve. A gunman approached him outside the home and shot him multiple times in the face and chest on the front lawn. On December 31, 2003, New Orleans police arrested 22-year-old Garrell Smith in connection with Soulja Slim's killing. Contemporary reporting stated that police recovered a stolen police pistol with a scratched-off serial number, and authorities said ballistics evidence linked the weapon to the shooting. Reports indicate it was a $10,000 hit, stemming from a dispute with a rival record label. Smith was released after no witnesses would come forward, even though the murder weapon was found in his possession. You know why. When the suspected hitman carries that kind of reputation and has that kind of reach, silence becomes survival. In August 2011, Smith was also shot and killed. The New Orleans District Attorney's Office still has Slim's murder listed as a cold case, and here's what hurts most. Slim had co-written Slow Motion with Juvenile before he died, recorded his verse, never heard what happened when it was released. That song hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2004. His voice on top of the charts while his mother was still grieving on that Gentilly front lawn. Posthumously. If Slow Motion was in your rotation in 2004 and you didn't even know he was already gone, drop something in the comments. Some of you found out in the worst way. Number 9, Big L, Lamont Coleman. 139th Street and Lenox Avenue, Harlem, New York. The lyricist that other lyricists studied like a textbook. The man who made Jay-Z. Jay-Z openly acknowledged he was one of the only people to ever get the best of him in a freestyle. Let that sit. February 15th, 1999, outside his own building, his neighborhood, his block. He was standing outside when someone drove up and shot him 9 times. 9. He was 24 years old. Here's what made this devastating beyond the violence itself. Big L had just signed with Rawkus Records. His debut album, Lifestyles Over the Poor and Dangerous, from 1995, had earned him a reputation the streets never let die. Critically praised, criminally slept on commercially, but the underground always knew. And now, with Rawkus, it finally felt like the moment was here, the one that matched the talent, the one the culture had been waiting for him to get. 3 weeks after signing, 9 shots, done. Police believe the shooting may have been connected to the street dealings of those around him, that Big L was targeted through proximity to something that wasn't even his. No one was ever charged. And here's the question I can't stop coming back to, and I'm going to let you sit with it too. What would that career have looked like with Rawkus? In the same era as Jay, Nas, and the commercial peak of hip-hop's golden moment, what does Big L's catalog look like in 2001, in 2003, in 2006? We'll never know. And that might be the most haunting thing on this entire list. Number 8, Jam Master Jay, Jason Mizell. the DJ for Run-D.M.C. The group, featuring D.MC McDaniels and Joseph Simmons, became the first rappers with gold and platinum albums and was the first hip-hop outfit with a video in regular rotation on MTV. Jay was the engine that made it go. October 30th, 2002, Halloween night. His recording studio in Jamaica, Queens, 7:30 in the evening, and he was shot in the head inside those walls. By people he knew, by people who had walked those floors before him. For nearly 20 years, no one was charged. More than 20 years after Run-D.M.C star Jam Master Jay was brazenly gunned down in his recording studio, 2 men close to him were convicted of murder. In February 2024, it's all brand new, never ever old. An anonymous Brooklyn federal jury found Carl Jordan Jr. and Ronald Washington guilty of killing the pioneering DJ in 2002 over what prosecutors characterized as revenge for a failed drug deal. And here's the layer that changes everything. Jordan, 40, was Mizell's godson, the boy he had raised up, the one he called family. Mizell had received 10 kilograms of cocaine on consignment worth almost $200,000. Washington and Jordan were brought in on the deal, but after a disagreement, Mizell cut Washington and Jordan out, and what happened in that studio was revenge for being cut out of a drug deal. His own godson. Witnesses were terrified that they would be retaliated against if they cooperated with law enforcement. That's why it took so long. And then, just when it felt like there was finally closure, in December 2025, a judge overturned Jordan's conviction, ruling the government had failed to satisfactorily prove motive. Washington's conviction stands. A third defendant, Jay Bryant, still faces a separate trial. 23 years, a murder in his own studio, by family, and the courts are still not done. His own godson. That's not just betrayal. That's something the words we have don't fully reach. Number 7, Freaky Tah, Lost Boys. Raymond Rogers, hype man, rapper, and the heartbeat of the Lost Boys. If you know your mid-90s Queens hip-hop, if Renee or Music Makes Me High was in your cassette deck, you know exactly what this group meant to that era. And you know Freaky Tah was the energy that held it together. March 28, 1999, Sheraton Hotel, Queens, New York. His groupmate Mr. Cheek's birthday party, a celebration. The kind of night where nothing is supposed to go wrong because you're surrounded by your people. Rogers was fatally shot by Kelvin Jones while he was going towards the exit of the Sheraton Hotel in Queens. It was a case of mistaken identity. He was 27 years old, and here's the part that makes this almost impossible to sit with. The feud that resulted in his death traced back to a robbery of a member of the Lost Boys camp the previous November. After the robbery, someone connected to the Lost Boys camp retaliated by shooting a man named Michael Saunders. But Saunders, who was killed in that shooting, had nothing to do with the original robbery. One wrong call, one wrong trigger pulled, and now the Hellraisers camp had their own reason for revenge, and the man they found walking out of a hotel birthday party was Freaky Tah. Jones pleaded guilty to murder and was sentenced to a minimum of 15 years for second-degree murder. Here's what doesn't leave me. Freaky Tah was known in his Queens neighborhood for preaching non-violence. His community remembered him as someone who tried to cool things down, killed because someone else started a chain of retaliation, and his name happened to be at the wrong end of it. Wrong hotel, wrong exit, wrong night. Number 6, Eazy-E, Eric Wright, Compton. the founder of N.W.A, the man who co-created Straight Outta Compton, who launched Dr. Dre's career, who launched Ice Cube's career, who built the blueprint for West Coast gangsta rap from scratch, out of a garage in Compton with $250,000 in drug money and a vision nobody else had yet.
Definition is jacking, but when illegally armed, it's called packing. Shoot a motherfucker.
The Godfather. On February 24, 1995, Wright was admitted to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles with a violent cough. He was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, thought it was asthma. It was not asthma.
But here's a flash that never sees me ruthless, never seen like a shot.
On March 16, 1995, he made a public announcement about his illness. On March 26, 1995, he died of AIDS-related pneumonia. February 24 to March 26, 30 days.
No mate, I'm knocking niggas out the box daily. Yo, weekly, month.
From walking into a hospital with a cough to gone at 30 years old. In a statement on his behalf, Eazy-E said, "I just feel I've got thousands of young fans who have to learn about what's real when it comes to AIDS. I've learned in the last week that this thing is real and it doesn't discriminate."
Get out the trip, but a nigga like Ren is on the gangster tip straight out of Compton.
That statement was read aloud by his attorney. Eazy was already in the ICU when those words hit the world. 10 days after that statement, he was gone, and the theories never fully disappeared. Eric Wright's death was astoundingly quick, even for someone suffering from the virus in the 1990s.
Believe a memory, no one will be forgetting. So what about the bitch who got shot?
People who were around him in his final years, people who had been on tour with him, in studios with him months earlier, said they never saw symptoms. No weight loss, no episodes, nothing.
I'll make my snaps. If not from the records, from jacking across, it's like burglary.
Whether you believe the official record or you believe something else happened in that hospital, and I know where y'all stand on this in the comments already, what's undeniable is what we lost in 30 days.
Your mother, and make your sister think I love her. Dangerous, motherfucker raising hell.
The architect of the entire West Coast movement, at 30 years old, in March 1995, and none of it looked anything like a warning.
I see a motherfucking cop, I don't dodge him, but I'm smart, lay low, free.
Number 5, Big Pun, Christopher Lee Rios.
Just like me, one of the best might be. Even better, leave it kneeling on a right.
South Bronx, Terror Squad, the first Latino rapper in the history of hip-hop to go platinum solo, a lyricist so technically gifted, the breath control, the multi-syllabic rhyme schemes, the flow at a size that defied every physical expectation, that even now, heads who know the craft will tell you he was in a conversation with the very best to ever do it. February 7, 2000, Crown Plaza Hotel, White Plains, New York. His family was staying there while their Bronx home was being renovated. He experienced trouble breathing in the hotel room. He suffered a heart attack and respiratory failure and was rushed to White Plains Hospital, where he died at age 28 after paramedics were unable to revive him. He was 28 years old. An autopsy revealed that the rapper weighed 698 pounds at the time of his death. The medical examiner found that his heart was 3 times larger than it should have been. And here's the detail that I need you to sit with. 2 days before he died, on February 5th, Rios withdrew from a planned Saturday Night Live performance with Fat Joe and Jennifer Lopez due to illness. He was supposed to be on national television that Saturday. He was dead that Monday. Now here's what makes this one genuinely terrifying and not just tragic. This wasn't a surprise to the people around him. His weight had been the conversation for years. He had been struggling with his weight for a decade, gaining more than 500 pounds in 10 years. His friends were worried, but his health became such a contentious topic that he reportedly refused to eat around them. He had checked into a weight loss clinic in North Carolina, lost 80 pounds, and it still wasn't enough. The industry watched, the label watched, everyone around him watched, and nobody had the infrastructure, the resources, or apparently the real authority to actually intervene before it was too late.
boss of New York, where we taught to walk the walk on my carry chalk and stalk.
His second album, Yeah Baby, was released posthumously. Already recorded, already done, already waiting. His voice was all over it. He just wasn't there when it dropped. The man who changed what it meant to be a Latino artist in hip-hop, who broke a barrier that nobody had broken before him, died in a hotel room at 28, while his wife called 911 and his children were nearby, and the album was already finished. Number 4, Stretch, Randy Walker. Live Squad, Queens, one of the most important figures in Tupac's early career, the man who helped produce Tupacalypse Now, Strictly For My Niggas, and Thug Life Volume 1, Tupac's closest road companion before it all collapsed. November 30th, 1994. Stretch was with Tupac when he was attacked at Quad Recording Studios in Manhattan. 5 shots, robbed, beaten. And when Tupac came out of that hospital pointing fingers at everyone in that building, he eventually included Stretch. Said he didn't help. Said he should have known. The friendship was destroyed, publicly, over the following year. Tupac went to jail, went to death row, started recording Machiavelli and Against All Odds, tracks where Stretch's name was between the lines, and it wasn't love. November 30th, 1995. Exactly 1 year later, Stretch was being chased by at least 2 men in a black car when he was shot at least 4 times, crashing his minivan at the corner of 112th Avenue and 209th Street in Queens Village, just after 12:30 a.m. He was on his way home after dropping off his brother when the car chase began, and he was struck by bullets, at least 2 fired through his back. The detective said his death occurred 1 year, almost to the minute, from the incident last November 30. When he and Mr. Shakur walked into a Times Square building housing a recording studio, and Mr. Shakur was robbed and seriously wounded. The shootings were 1 year and about 5 minutes apart. It's weird. Weird, that's the word the detective used. No one was ever formally charged, though federal prosecutors later named Ronald Washington, who was also connected to the Jam Master Jay killing, as a suspect in Stretch's murder too. Number 3, Old Dirty Bastard, Russell Jones. ODB, Big Baby Jesus, Asin Unique, one of the founding members of Wu-Tang Clan, the most gloriously unrepeatable, uncontainable voice in the history of this genre, Brooklyn raised, Dirt McGirt to his people. Old Dirty Bastard collapsed at approximately 4:35 p.m. on November 13, 2004, 2 days before his 36th birthday, at RZA's recording studio, 36 Chambers Records, LLC, on West 34th Street in New York City. He had been complaining of chest pains. Then he went down. The Brooklyn native was pronounced dead before paramedics arrived on the scene. According to an autopsy report, Jones had a deadly combination of cocaine and tramadol in his system. He was 35 years old. And here's what I need you to sit with about why this one belongs on this list. ODB had just gotten his life back. He had survived prison. In 2003, the day he was released from prison, Old Dirty Bastard signed a contract with Rockefeller Records. He was recording his 3rd album. He had just performed his final concert 2 days before he died. He had clawed his way back from every legal crisis, every arrest, every mental health moment the industry had watched from a safe distance. And RZA, his cousin, his brother in the truest sense, wrote in his book, The Tao of Wu, "Trust me, the man who became ODB was a scientist and a minor prophet." People may not know this from the outrageable character he played, but ODB was a visionary. but he decayed. He lost that vision. From the time they put him in jail, to all the drugs he was doing, to all the stress he went through with his family, it took away. He collapsed in RZA's studio, among family, in the room where he was supposed to be most alive, 2 days before his birthday. And the album he was working on, the one that was supposed to mark the comeback, has never been officially released. Some of y'all know every word of Brooklyn Zoo by heart. You know what ODB meant to this. If you're nodding right now, you know this one hits different than it reads. Number 2, the Notorious B.I.G. Christopher George LaTorre Wallace, Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G., Frank White, Bed-Stuy to the world, the most commercially celebrated rapper of his era. A voice that sounded like New York City itself, heavy, specific, and alive with detail that didn't come from anywhere except the street he actually lived on. March 9th, 1997, 12:45 in the morning, Wilshire Boulevard, Los Angeles. He was leaving the Soul Train Music Awards after party in a Suburban, in a convoy, with security, in a city that had already taken Tupac 6 months before. A dark Chevrolet Impala pulled up alongside the passenger side, 4 shots, 1 fatal. He was pronounced dead at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center that morning. He was 24 years old. And here's the detail that doesn't let you breathe. Life After Death, the double album that is still one of the most celebrated records in the history of hip-hop, was 16 days from its release date. 16 days. He never heard what happened when it dropped. Never heard what the world said. Never had a moment to absorb what he had made. It debuted at number 1. Sold nearly 700,000 copies in its first week. He wasn't there for any of it. Now, here's the part that the official record forces you to confront. Nobody has ever been charged for his murder. Not one person. LAPD investigated. The FBI investigated. Journalists spent years on it. Books were written. Documentaries were made. A lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles was filed and settled. The names of suspects have been printed in publications, cited in court documents, detailed in sworn testimony, and officially, case open. No conviction, no closure. 28 years. The most prominent murder in hip-hop history. And if you walk into any barbershop in Bed-Stuy today, they will tell you exactly what they think happened. The one thing they won't tell you is that they believe the silence. That's not just a cold case. That's a wound that never fully healed. Number 1, Tupac Shakur, Machiavelli. Born to a Black Panther, raised in Baltimore, in the Bay, in New York. A poet who became a revolutionary, who became a movie star, who became the most celebrated rapper in the history of the art form, gone at 25. September 7th, 1996, MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas. Mike Tyson just knocked out Bruce Seldon in the first round. Tupac is inside, ringside, Suge Knight beside him. They leave together in Suge's BMW. At a red light on Flamingo Road, one of the most trafficked, most photographed streets in America, a white Cadillac pulls up alongside the passenger side. Multiple shots into the car. Suge took fragments. Tupac was hit multiple times.
How the fuck they gonna be the mob when we always on our job? We millionaires. Killing ain't fair, but some...
He was rushed to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada. He held on for 6 days. September 13th, 1996. Gone. And here's where this story does something that separates it from every other name on this countdown. It doesn't end at the funeral. It keeps going for decades. In September 2023, nearly 27 years after that night on Flamingo Road, Dwayne "Keffy D. Davis was arrested and charged with murder. He is the uncle of Orlando Anderson, the man most investigators believe pulled the trigger. He is the only person ever to be charged in connection with this killing. But Orlando Anderson died in 1998, separate shooting, never faced a courtroom for what happened on Flamingo Road. 27 years, the most famous rapper on the planet, killed at a red light in a car with the head of his record label, in the middle of Las Vegas, surrounded by witnesses. And we are still in court, still trying to formally close it. Now listen, if you were alive in September 1996, you know exactly where you were when you heard, not when you read it, when you heard it. It came through your radio, through a phone call, through somebody pulling up with a face that told you everything before they said a word. And if you were young and this was your music, that was the moment you understood that none of this was protected. That genius wasn't armor. That the music didn't make you safe. That something you loved could just be gone. Nothing after September 13th, 1996 was the same. The music kept coming, the records kept selling, the legacy kept building, but something that was in the air before that night, something that felt like an entire era of anything being possible that left with him, and it has never fully come back. Now I'm about to set the record straight. With my AK, I'm still the thug that